This is the 2025 Honda Pilot EXL. Do you get more than you expect? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Holmes Honda to give you a good in-depth tour of the second trim level available in the 25 Pilot lineup. For 2025 it goes Sport and then EXL. But I think you will be surprised at some of the features that come on this particular model. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video to the Holmes Honda website. Here on the front end, we're going to find LED daytime running lights, and you'll also have LED fog lights. That's a good thing for those of you who are looking for the fog lights. Maybe you're cross-shopping the Pilot and the CR-V. I know for some people that might seem a little strange, but I've talked to people who are doing that and saying, you know what, I think I might step up to the Pilot. It has more features and definitely more room. And for those of you who are wanting those fog lights, there you go. You'll find that here. You'll also find your active air curtains on the front end, each area on one on each side, obviously, to help with your gas mileage. And if you want all-wheel drive, that is available across all trim levels, or you can go with the standard front-wheel drive if that's something you so desire. Maybe you don't need all-wheel drive, just depends on your situation. But you do need those great features to help you out staying safe driving down the road. Honda Sensing, that's going to be standard across all trim levels as well. That's here. Honda Sensing includes adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, road departure mitigation, lane keeping assist, and traffic jam assist. And talked about the tires, let's talk about our tire and wheel size. We'll be looking at a width of 255, a 60 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch wheels. You do have a spare tire. With the side view mirrors, they're manually folding, but they are going to fold. That's a good thing. Turn signal indicators built in, they're power adjustable, and they are heated. You will also find your blind spot information system, and we'll turn around here and take advantage of the Louisiana sunshine to show you the remote. Everything you expect to see is here, including your remote start. You have a power tailgate you can open and close, and that is a proximity key. You have the walk-away feature. All of that is here. And as we work our way to the rear, you're gonna have the shark fin antenna up there, body colored, your rear roof spoiler, and your rear window wiper to help out when you need that. Nice large taillights back here that fit the size of the vehicle. They're not so large that they're overpowering, but the one thing you don't have is the hands-free tailgate in that you would have the motion sensor under here. For most people, I don't think that's a huge deal if you're going to try and maybe save a little bit of money but still have a lot of great features. This is a great trim level to consider. Just depends on what it is you want. And if you haven't looked at the Pilot for the last couple of years, when I tell you this is a 3.5 liter V6, you're likely going to expect the same engine that's been in the Pilot for quite a few years. However, this is not the VTEC. It's a dual overhead cam version. It's still naturally aspirated. It makes 285 horsepower and 262 pounds-feet of torque, and it's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. We'll go over here and take a look at the window sticker to give you the MPGs. We're looking at 19 city, 27 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. If you're curious about the gas tank size, it's 18.5 gallons. And here's something important. I talked about all-wheel drive earlier really being beneficial for those of you who live in a climate where it snows. But if you're going to look for max towing capacity, you're also going to want to go all-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive on the Pilot will tow 3,500 pounds. All-wheel drive will tow up to 5,000 pounds. And depending on how you set things up here in the rear seating area, your cargo capacity will range between 18.6 to 86.5 to 87 cubic feet. We'll find some space underneath the floor if I can get my hand in there and use the release to show you what's here. Now there's a couple of things you can do here. First of all, you will find a diagram right here that helps you know about center seat storage, and you might wonder what exactly is that. Well, you can remove that middle seat right there and actually have it inside the floor right here. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. You can do that if you want to, just depending on your situation. Now, that's the only one that is removable. This is not like the Honda Odyssey where you can remove all 3 seats right there. What would you think about that? Is that something you would like to see Honda offer in the future? And we'll also find a 12-volt power outlet back here that is useful. And if you need to change the height of your power tailgate, you can do that. We're gonna move that up just a little bit right there. All you do is hold this button down and listen for the beeps. And when you hear those beeps, it's been reset to wherever you want it to be. You can raise it and lower it. If you need to bring the height down some, obviously you can do that. I actually had somebody ask me one time, how do you reset it to its full height? Do I really need to answer that question? Yes, that question was asked one time. And being that I'm holding the camera with one hand and only have one hand free, I'm going to tell you and show you what I can about how you remove this middle row seat. The first thing you need to do is pull that release and lower the seat back. And then there's another release right here. You pull on that and that allows you to raise the seat up and basically pick it up and take it out. And wouldn't you know it, that seat is being stubborn and won't come out for me for some reason. But what I'll do is I'll show you another model where I did that in another video, just so you can see how it looks with the seat out and how it looks having the seat stowed away here in this rear cargo area. And for convenience purposes, the floor back here is actually 2-sided. You have the plastic side right here, or you can flip it over and have the carpeted side as we did earlier. Just depends on what you need. And to answer another common question, do these 3rd row seats recline? You can see that they do, and you recline them right here. So kind of an interesting way to do that, but there's how it works. If you need to recline the seats, just use the strap right there. And I learn from questions that people ask in these videos that I make. And one of those has been that everybody always gets into the 3rd row from over there on the driver's side. So I'm going to show that you can also do it over here on the passenger side. I'm just going to push that button right there and the seat will move on up and out of the way. And by the way, these seats do slide back and forth. So it is possible to increase 3rd row space or 3rd row passenger legroom space depending on where the middle row seat passengers are sitting. So you can see how that seat slides back and forth. That is a good thing. We'll also find USB options here in the rear, an air conditioning vent right there, and a couple of cup holders. Now this model does not have a sunroof. If it did, it would be a panoramic sunroof. As of 2023, with the Pilot's full redesign coming for that model year, the conventional size sunroof is no longer available. And there's no lack of space as far as the armrest goes. Plenty of room, and it is nice and comfortable. The upper and the lower door bins offer a lot of versatility for storage. And we'll also have the rear seat pockets on the back of each seat. And there's also a pocket right here for cell phone storage or whatever will fit right there. The command center down there for controlling the 3rd zone of climate control, in addition to the USB options right here. One more thing before we move into the front seat, the privacy shades are here on each door, in addition to everything else I showed you. So what is the sticker price on this 25 Pilot EXL? $45,050. That's what you'll have to pay, at least here at Holmes Honda. I'm curious to know what you're seeing at other dealerships for those of you who live elsewhere. Here on the driver's side door, we're going to find all the controls for our power side view mirrors right there. Everything you expect to see for lock and unlock. You can lock the windows right there and control all 4 windows here as well. Seat memory also, in my opinion, I always like to say, and maybe we'll see this one day more often than we currently do. If you have seat memory on the driver's side, you should also have it on the passenger side over there. You have to pay a lot more money on higher end vehicles for that. Would like to see that on vehicles that come in under $50,000. Power seats for the driver and the passenger, both are heated. Large door bins once again for the driver and passenger doors. And I like the use of the space right here. Instead of just having trim right there, nice to have that area open. There's also plenty of room within the glove box. Nothing unusual where that's concerned. And the steering wheel is tilt and telescopically adjustable. Nice to have that. We'll also have our paddle shifters here if you're feeling sporty and you want to drive with the paddle shifters. Use those to shift your way back and forth through that 10-speed automatic transmission. There are multiple driving modes, by the way. And over here, if you need to turn your fog lights on or off, there's how you do that. And headlights there. And your turn signal indicators are controlled right there too. Some of you didn't know that. And right here, that's how you control your front and rear window wipers. If you want to turn traction control off or on, there's where you do that. And you can control the power tailgate from the driver's seat right here. Some people tell me that this 9-inch touchscreen is too small. What do you think? What do you believe the minimum size is? Now, somebody's going to say, you know what? 9 inches is fine. I'm curious to know what everybody thinks. Now, I did pair my phone earlier, so what you're seeing is the use of Apple CarPlay right there, but we'll go to the screen as far as what you're going to see outside of using Apple CarPlay. You will have Android Auto too, wireless connectivity for pairing your smartphone, and everything you expect to see here is going to be here, obviously. And remember earlier I mentioned that you have that power tailgate back there. If for some reason that's not working, if you go back there and you push the button and it doesn't open with the power function, here's where you need to come and make sure that's turned to on. Now, if the battery did die on your Pilot, you can still manually open that tailgate back there. No big deal, pretty simple to deal with. Everything you need to know is right here as far as any changes you might need to make to the vehicle. Driver assist system setup is also here. We talked a little bit about what we have with some of those features earlier as far as using or having Honda Sensing, but you can see some of the other features that are also here. Quite a bit going on where that's concerned. Obviously, there's airbags throughout the vehicle as well. I hope you never need any of that, but it's nice to know that it's here if you do. Dual zone climate control here in the front. Heated seats for the driver and the passenger. Don't need that right now, but it's here. And then you can control your front and rear settings if you want to from up here, depending on what you need to do. USB connectivity in addition to another 12-volt power outlet. Wireless charging. And then here is the shifter. Now, it is the push-button shifter. Some like it, some don't. So depending on what you like, well, that's what's here. We also have our drive and sequential right here, D and S, and then we'll also have the ability to turn on or off your idle stop if you want to, hill start assist, your power parking brake, and brake hold mode. Now let's go through our driving modes here. That's our drive mode selector, and we'll see what all we have. So you're going to have normal, econ, show you the graphics that go with that. We also have snow, tow. That wasn't intentional on making that rhyme. You also have sport mode. So a lot going on where that's concerned. Plenty of room here with the center console, your dual cup holders right there, and a nice large lid that doubles as an armrest. And within, there's plenty of space. And here with the upper console, there's what you're going to have. We'll have the conversation mirror and the sunglass holder as well. And what about the rear view cameras? Well, that's all we're going to have is the multi-view rear view camera. Now you can, on the Elite, Trail Sport, and Black editions, have several more views beyond this. But on the EXL, that's what you get. It is a nice clear view, and you have 3 different views depending on what you need to see. And when it comes to driving the Pilot, one thing I can say for sure here, and some of you can probably help a little more than what I can say, but there is a lot of space for the driver and all the passengers, especially in these front 2 rows. And I showed you how you can increase the space for your 3rd row passengers as well. But one thing that's interesting here, there is so much space that I'm confident that somebody who is 6'3" or maybe a 6'4", maybe a little more, will have no trouble adjusting the steering wheel position and the seat for the driver's area here to fit no problem. And that's where some of you might come in being able to share what your experience is if you're 6'3", 6'4", maybe even taller than that. How do you fit in this generation of the Pilot? I know there's got to be somebody out there who can answer that question and tell us about that based on your own personal experience. I'm 5'10", so I can't really say a lot beyond that, obviously, but I have plenty of room, so no problem there. And something else that is very nice here, nothing unusual for Honda, but for those who haven't had all of the technology that the Pilot offers, don't let that scare you off. I know a lot of people out there are still saying, that's just so much, I'll never learn it all. You might be surprised at how easy it is to learn it, how easy it is to use. Personally, I feel like you don't really need somebody to show you how to do that. It's that simple. So once you learn it, you might even be surprised at how much you use it beyond what you may have initially expected. Everything is very easy to get to as far as all the controls and everything goes within the interior, and plenty of room for not only the driver and the passengers, but depending on your situation, you've got all that space back there, especially if you don't need the third row. You have all that space back there where you can fold that third row down and have plenty of room for a nice long road trip. Everybody can still be nice and comfortable. Plenty of space for the luggage and different things that may need to be used or hauled back there. And with 285 horsepower, it seems to be plentiful for this particular vehicle. It doesn't seem to be underpowered based on my personal experience. Now, there are some limitations to what I can tell you about where that is concerned. Kind of the same thing as with my height compared to those who are taller than I am. I don't have experience at pulling a trailer with the Pilot or having a load of cargo in the rear, maybe a full load of passengers. But again, I bet some of you can tell us down in the comments and add some information in the comments section for those who may wish to know. But that's one good thing that makes this Pilot so versatile is all of the space. Versatile, let's get that word out correctly. Versatile, that is very useful. All of the space, and we also have the ability to have all-wheel drive, snow and ice mode, all of that. For those of you who live in an area where you're going to have a lot of snow throughout the year, maybe more often than not, you're still going to be in very good shape as far as being able to get around in those conditions. The Pilot really does offer a lot of versatility on all trim levels, no matter how much money you might want to spend or not spend. And as you've seen in today's video, even on the EXL trim level, which by no means is the highest trim level, there's still a lot here. Okay, tell me what you think about the 2025 Honda Pilot EXL. Do you get more than you expect? Curious to know what your thoughts are. And if you don't plan to go with the EXL trim level, what do you plan to go with if you're going to buy a Pilot for the 2025 model year? I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this Pilot for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.